Hello. Actually, I don't know if you can hear the microphone with it down there. It's hard to know where to just let my phone exist while I'm doing these videos. I was thinking about these videos that I make and how they're so specific to being existential and just speculations and different ideas through my path of life and how my viewpoints change and how I recognize things. And there's something for me that is really helpful with talking those things out loud. And so that's why I do them in these videos, and it's kind of like a journal, kind of like a public journal of a thought process. But instead of making another one of those videos, I just wanted to, I've already made over 100 or so existential videos. I have a few guitar videos, and I want to do more guitar videos, but I'm most natural not in front of a camera. But in person with people, it's there. Like there's a magic with audience members. But cameras, I'm still, even though like I've been filmed a lot, I still don't get that used to just talking to a camera. Like it's kind of weird. Like I have to be alone most of the time because it's weird to be just talking to your phone. Like I don't know if I ever get over that weirdness. But anyways, I wanted to talk just a little bit about me and other things that I talk about ordinarily, because it's just in these video series that I do where I'm just like freestyle, just thinking these thoughts out loud. But I don't really do that very ordinarily. But in the winter it happens a lot. That's kind of why I started making the videos. I'm like, it's just an interesting experiment, our lives. Well, anyway, with that said, like the way I ordinarily am, I just like to have fun. I like to go on bike rides. I like to go paddle boarding, and of course, obviously play guitar. And I should talk about my day. I had a good day. It's a Saturday, and I went busking, and it was in the 80s, and I got burned. I guess it doesn't look that bad, or it's already tanning, but just in this light. But I felt like I could relate with vampires, because it got to this point that, like, even when I got home, I'd walk past a window with light coming through it, and it would be like, this instantly burning, kind of melodramatically excruciating kind of feeling. And I'm like, that's probably how it feels for vampires when the sun hits them, you know? Anyway, I like to joke around. I like to joke around a lot. I'll talk about busking a little bit. I haven't been doing it for a while. I did it in Chicago like 10 years ago. And I went down to the Loop and got that experience. And I had paid for the, like, whatever it was, $15 permit to do that for a year. Even though I really only did it like half a dozen times, because it was kind of an ordeal. I mean, not that much of an ordeal, but I don't often have a whole lot of motivation to go out and just, let's just say it takes courage. It takes a lot of courage to just get out there and sing songs and play music for people. But it's very rewarding. And so I'm fortifying to have the verve to push through the inhibitions and like the whole like, oh, I don't want to be in front of people today. But then so what happens is I push through that. I had a good day. I worked out, which my workout just consists of running on the treadmill for a mile. I have this Barbie pink treadmill that I had bought a year or two ago at a yard sale for like, I don't know, like $35 or something. And let's just say if I was any bigger, like it would be a problem. like I still have to like run very carefully because it's a little bit narrow. Like the pad that I'm running on is, well, you can't see a good angle, but it's like just beyond my like hips. So it's like I have to run very straight. I practice my form when I'm running, but I can't take like really big steps, you know, obviously. And at the fastest speed is just fast enough. Maybe I'll show it to you sometime. But anyway, I ran on the treadmill. I did like 40 push-ups, and I did 14 pull-ups. 7 of this kind and 7 of this kind. And I don't know why I'm holding a pen. Yeah, and that consists of my workout. I mostly like working out, having fun, like paddleboarding and rollerblading and biking and hiking and things like that. Like, I'm not one of those people that can just run out on the street. I mean, I've done it, but if I'm gonna run like that or take a little jog, I want to be on a nature trail or something. Anyways, I did that and had my, sorry, the floor is really creaky. That's the neighbor. I don't know if you can hear the creaky floor. There's always some kind of creaky thing in the background of my videos. It's funny. I just notice little trends in life and stuff. I mean, we all do, you know. I just talk about them and probably think about them more than I need to be spending time doing that. But yeah, went down to this gorgeous spot on the waterfront here in Olympia, which is honestly, as far as location and vibe, like waterfront vibes, it's one of the best busking spots. Because, and especially for me, because, you know, a lot of my music is kind of dreamy and slow, more kind of ambient, but then I'll have kind of plickety-pluckety kind of solos sometimes, which I'm so glad I've incorporated using a looper, because I've been using the looper in songs so I can do my own musical breaks and do little solos and just improvise, you know. And sometimes really cool stuff happens, and other times it's kind of a struggle, like, especially at the beginning, like when you're setting up, it's just like the vibe hasn't been set yet, and it's just kind of weird to be that guy just setting up musical equipment, like, unannounced, just, like, in a spot, like, and there's families hanging out, eating, but people just go down to the waterfront to hang out and get the vibes, and so, and I've had good feedback on that front, because it actually helps me to play out there, because it's just calm and there's a beautiful view. I can see the Olympic Mountains. I was just thinking I should turn on this light because it's kind of dark. There we go. Yeah, I kind of keep it dark in my house. I just don't need a lot of light. I don't know, but I love the sun. I went paddleboarding yesterday all by myself. It's really nice. I've been working on this song about Olympia, and I got a few more ideas just being out in Big Fish Trap, which is up by Boston Harbor. And yeah, it feels like summertime here. I've been learning the song Summertime, but kind of making my own version of it. Like the Billy Strings version, of course. But I'm gonna go to band practice tonight with my one of the projects I'm in, Kitchen Sink Experience. And I play the Telecaster and sing harmonies. And there are a few songs that I sing in that one, but I'm not like the front man or anything. But that's the cool thing about that band is Dan, who sings and plays harmonica and guitar very well, I might say. He's like cool with sharing like letting other people sing. And, I average about 1 or 2 gigs a month. I've started to book myself and have GPT help me write these letters to places like the farmer's market and West Central Park, which is another really nice place that is here on the west side of Olympia. And I played there before when I was in Waking Bear. It was the band I was in for 6 years, for those who don't know. And now they go by Elevator Operator. But as of last summer, I'm not in that band. And I could say a lot of things about it. But I'm glad I did that because I learned a lot. And so I've just been doing these little projects like Kitchen Sink Experience. And just a couple months ago, I joined my friend's project, Josh's project called Pale Blue Dot. And I play lead guitar and in that, which is a lot of fun. Like, that's what I mostly like doing, is just playing guitar and not singing. So it's been a real growth for me to like actually go out and sing, play and do solos and use the looper. And yeah, it's been rewarding. Like, you make connections with people, have little conversations, and just meet so many people in the community. And I was like, I've never really had a customer service job that much, except for when I worked at an antique shop in Hinsdale, but there would just be the occasional people that came in. That was in Illinois. Anyways, yeah, so for me, it's nice having these encounters with kind strangers who, I get tipped, which is great. I have a little tip jar. And I'm like, almost have enough to pay rent now because I quit my job as a grower at the beginning of April. It was like almost a week into April. And I just, I wanted to make it through June, but I burn out on a place. Even when I worked at Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories for 6 years, right out of high school, I switched departments a lot, so I was never in one department for more than a year or two. And I'm 37 now, and I have seen this trend through my life. That's why it's been like a quandary where I'm like, I don't know what my career would be, because it shifts, like it's transient for me. Even though music has been the most consistent and core part of a lot of my endeavors, and I would say more than a hobby. Like it's soul, It's where it's like your hobby. It's like a love, It's a love. We all have many loves in life. All the things you love and the people you love and cats and dogs, etc. Wild animals. Wild animals. Yeah, so I've been kind of stir crazy and just getting out there. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, we had our first jam here in the backyard of my place. I love my roommates. Like, I have wonderful roommates. I really have it pretty good. And so though I want to move to Portland by winter, I'm really enjoying this place, and I know I'm going to miss it. And who knows what will happen. There's a tiny chance that somehow I could stay in Olympia another winter, but I'm not quite willing to accept that. Yeah, next week I want to go down to Portland and try some busking. And maybe also Seattle, but I need to get a permit for that. Yeah. It's great. I just have my little amp and it's all battery powered. I go through batteries on my looper pedal. Those 9-volt batteries are not cheap, but you know, I make more than that in tips, so it's fine. But yeah, oh, that's the other thing I was gonna say. Yeah, so I got myself booked for the farmer's market. Now I can't remember the day in August, but it's in August. Perhaps I'll put it in the description. When my upcoming shows are that are just me. I'm playing a gig this weekend with actually 2 gigs. Oftentimes the gigs will all come like really close together. Like I already got double booked between Kitchen Sink Experience and Pale Blue Dot on one of the same days in August, I think, or September. I'm always referring to my calendar because I'm like chronologically challenged. Like it's like weightlifting. For some reason, that the easiest thing. But I just check it all the time. I have to constantly update myself, so I'm on it. I'm on my game, you know. Yeah, so I have a gig this weekend, 2 of them. One with Christy Neal, who's a good friend and incredible singer. And her and my roommate Tom, who's one of the best bass players I know and an incredible singer as well, plays in that. So there's the 3 of us, and we're playing out at Boston Harbor. And I do remember that date. It's this Friday, or this coming Friday, which is Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. So look forward to that. And then I'm playing with Stone Carvers. Oh, I should be wearing my Stone Carvers hat. And that's out in Tenino. And it's really a cool place. It's like kind of like a town-wide event because the town of Tenino is tiny. Like if you blink while you're driving, you'll like miss it. I mean, not quite like that, you know, but yeah, that's a fun one. Last year we did it, and there's just all kinds of artists out there, and they have little like they're like vendors, I guess, and then they have a booth for the music, and that's where we play, and it's just a nice crowd. It's like farmer's market kind of crowd, but more artsy. Even though our farmer's market's pretty artsy. I mean, even the produce is art, right? So, yeah, there's so many things I could talk about, but I just wanted to kind of reveal more of who I am, and instead of just the like existential things, you know, because I'm not really like that. I don't really have those conversations so much with anyone. So that's why I like to make videos about it, because it might be fun to watch, but maybe not be in the conversation of like someone saying those things. Just talking about life and like dispositions and like, I don't know. I'm sure it can be pretty heavy because it's kind of heavy for me too, but it really helps me to be able to make videos about it. And sometimes I think like, it's kind of weird that that's just like my only kind of video content. But when I'm doing fun stuff, I don't want to be on my phone, you know? So that's kind of what it is. But maybe I will try to capture videos of things more. I just feel like I don't have the best luck with stuff like that. You know, some people are good with it, but timing is everything. And you could, like, a picture could just be a second or 2 away from like the perfect picture to like a very not ideal picture or whatever. Like, I'm not a photographer, but I feel like I can recognize a picture I really like, you know, for my subjective aesthetic, you know. But yeah, that's me these days. maybe I'll make another video like this. In the meantime, peace.